Hey guys, here always on VTXReviews.com. We're watching a video review of the Celluon Magic Cube. The Celluon Magic Cube is a laser projection keyboard that projects a full-size QWERTY keyboard for you to connect wirelessly into your smartphone, laptop, or any other consumer electronic device via Bluetooth 2.0. The device is quite interesting. Again, it seems to have stepped right out of a TRON legacy or a sci-fi fiction film to have landed onto our desk service to review. But again, at $200, again, it's quite pricey for something that's really just starting out. It's not something fully baked and developed yet. Again, the device definitely is a conversation starter. It's something that will attract a lot of attention when you go out. Celluon claims the device has a few benefits whenever you utilize it. One is that it has no moving parts, so unlike traditional keyboards, you won't be able to damage this device by pressing it too many times. Also uses a rechargeable lithium-ion battery, and the battery life is quite strong. It lasts around a month before you have to recharge it if you're using standby time at least. Also, pairing it via Bluetooth is very easy. You basically press a few buttons that shows up on screen on your phone, and then you press it on the keyboard itself to pair, but actually not on your device. That's a distinction you need to know, so that whenever you're pairing it via Bluetooth, it is easy, but you press the keyboard to pair it and not actually the phone. The device also dubs as a multi-touch trackpad when you're not using it as a keyboard. So for devices such as Android device or perhaps a laptop, you can utilize this as a traditional multi-touch mouse perhaps. And so you basically press Control menu, and then you can start basically using this as a scroll gestures to multi-touch in and out of different pictures. Use it as a mouse to navigate through the web pages and your photos. It definitely works and adds another functionality to the device. Definitely makes the value seem a little bit more appropriate, because if it was only a keyboard, $200 would definitely be a stretch to be paying. Build quality is also very premium. It has a glass finish on the front. You can see the laser projects outside like so into an angle, and the bottom is a camera sensor that actually senses where you're pressing on the keyboard. The keyboard is also multi-touch enabled, so again, you can type quite fast if you get used to it. You don't have to only peck out one letter at a time. You can type out full messages, and the recognition software is actually quite good on this device. Below here is an LED light that shows you the battery life indication, and again, the battery life is quite strong. On the back is that USB connector to charge the device, to sync it, or to connect it to a computer or a USB device. Also a power on and off key and a lanyard cord. So taking a closer look at the device, are there any real benefits to having this keyboard over a traditional keyboard? We have to say we don't really think so. It's more of a gimmick at this point, again, than really something that you have to have. But if you are a huge science fiction fan, it definitely works very well. It actually surprisingly well, considering something that we thought wouldn't work quite as nicely as it did. Again, recognition really comes in play, and you definitely get used to it. It takes a little bit of acclimation, but you will get used to it over time. So for example, if we use the keyboard by pressing up the Google section, you can see that you can start typing. We're hooked up using Bluetooth through this phone, and it also supports the iPhone. Most Android devices will work without hiccup, and of course most laptop devices will work. And you see that phone messages can be typed out actually quite fast. So if we just want to just type out a few messages, you can see the response is quite easy, and it's quite sensitive as well. So it's something that's like a real typing experience. It also has audible clicking sounds whenever you're typing different letters, so you definitely hear that sound even though there isn't a tactile feel when you're actually typing on the keyboard. Limitations to this keyboard, again, is that price, and another one is that it definitely fades away under bright environments. So if you plan on using this at the beach or something, for some reason, the keyboard will not be able to be seen. Also, you do need a flat surface, so if you do have somewhere very bumpy, not very flat, it will accidentally hit on different parts of the surface. The light will refract differently, and you will not be able to use it. But in a flat surface, again, after getting some practice, perhaps 1 to 2 to 3 days of usage, you will be able to actually type on it quite normally, we think. Of course, you do have more errors than a traditional keyboard will have, but it's kind of to be expected from a keyboard of this caliber. Again, it is very cool. We are still waiting for a day for a laser keyboard to be built into a smartphone itself. Again, it seems that it is entirely possible with how small this keyboard accessory is, and we're hoping that a manufacturer will be able to bring that in the future, and it's going to be extremely cool. So again, for right now, it's great for editing Word documents, especially if you're on the fly, for writing Excel documents. A lot of devices have that. Again, it's very small, very portable, smaller than most keyboards. So if you want portability, it is a plus. You can take it with you on airplanes and then have that full keyboard to type on messages on, like this is a test, and you can see that it works pretty well. It definitely takes, again, a little bit of adjustment to utilize, but overall it does work, again, surprisingly well. Again, on camera, the device is showing up as a little bit pink, but in reality, the device is actually extremely red, and for some reason, the camera is not doing this justice. It looks a lot cooler in person, I can promise you, than it does on camera, which is something strange for once. But again, you can see that motion typing, it works extremely well. It's very cool. There is that arrow function. You can press Alt and then arrow, and now it dubs as a mouse. It works very cool, and overall, again, very impressive. We definitely want to see what the company will bring to the future, but right now, $200 is a little bit too much to shell out, especially, again, not too many practical usage. You can get more probably out of a traditional keyboard, unless you have to really have a wireless device that's really tiny. But otherwise, again, a very cool conversation starter for now. This has just been a brief first look. Thanks for watching here at os and vtxreviews.com. This has been a Celluon Magic Cube